Hello and welcome back to the Book of Hours. Let's dive right in. Okay, we're back. And where were we? We had discovered a Newman and have a few other lessons to pick up here and there. So we are in the process of seeing just how unique these Newmans are. And I think a few other things. What were we doing? We were recovering our chore so that we can learn drums and dance memory. Sorry, lesson. And we had forgotten about these entirely. But we found quite a few interesting memories that have some amount of permanence to them. Ah yes, and also we cracked open this room down here, didn't we? Hermit cell. Interesting. Got a little basket coming down from somewhere below the gulls. Oh, we need to do this at some point, don't we? We need to see if we can steal some eggs from them. But first, Hermit cell. The words Red William are scratched into the wall by the bed nook. This was the name of the cunning man who laid a curse on Hendrik de Wolf that there would be no seventh of his line. The cunning man that Hendrik de Wolf gilded and imprisoned beneath the house. But this doesn't look like a cell. There could have been no locks. Perhaps the other story is true, that William was an initiate of the Thunderskin, secretly maintained by Hendrik to prophecy for him in the ancient manner. Who were the de Wolfs really? Interesting. So we have a bed here, guest bed. A snug nook where absolutely nobody will bother the occupant. Use a matching soul. Okay, moon. Interest in moon. I'm still not sure why we would want to invite a guest round, but if we do, we can just tell them, hey, hang out in the side of this cliff here. You got to climb down the cliff because we haven't figured out the way through all of this, you know. There's some snakes in the way or something. I don't know what this is. Rustling stair. Anyway, we appear to have Hermit's workbench, labour in solitude. Stone made of wood woven, and so it accepts stone here. Interesting. Does appear to be sort of a stonemason's workbench. There, the saw and the there. Sure, that's even better. Sure, whatever. I haven't touched that. That was how it spawned in. That isn't something we can touch. Papers. Quire of paper. Prohibate. We will be putting that over with the rest of it. Ugle ink. We will also put that over with the rest of them. A few uncatalogued books we will collect. And some wine. We have 2 grail. 2 nectar, 2 edge, and 2 grail. Okay. This is a fireplace, I believe. Okay. Oh, and also a tiny potted tree. One nectar. Not that interesting. Bedside candle holder. Again, nothing of particular note there. Interesting. I'm not sure where that rope leads to, but we found a way there. Wing-haunted cave. A drunken whirl of bats drives me back. Perhaps literally drunken. There is a faint but definite brandy smell. So Forge or Grail 12. And then down here, perilous path. The route was never safe, even before the last round of storms had their way with it. Moon and Rose 13. I don't remember how we have Rose from somewhere. I forget how we get Rose. And Moon. Likewise. I don't remember how. What do we see here? Bit of a shack. A cranky thing. As in a crank. Some fishing nets by the look of it. And yeah. Nautical in nature. Okay. We have recovered our chore. And we sort of gain another new... the old Newman disappeared. But apparently, as far as we're aware, we can recover it as and when we want to. Good enough, I suppose. Put it down here. Kind of an inglorious place to put it, but sure. At this point, we pick up our second thrift weft, ready to try out weaving and not working plus 15 heart. However, in order to do so, we will need to pick up our heart memory of 3 or more, which we can pick up from Thunderskin's Paean, from Drums and Dance in heart. But for today, we want to commit our lesson to that skill, along with these memories we've gathered. And we have a bit more cash. Drums and Dances 3. Perenculate. Cool. So that is, as we suspected, a way to make Perenculate. And I will check that my thing is up to date. Yes it is. Okay, cool. Not the easiest thing to produce, but it's good scale. And also good edge. I think that's probably the easiest. Yeah. Something to keep in mind. Cool, a new day. What shall we do, in fact? We will throw Arab into here. Why not? With an offer of money. Get someone else to chip in. And what are we doing in the meantime? What were the plans? I have sort of forgotten. Had a busy day today. We were thinking of that snake milk thing, perhaps. So that would be recipe of 15. We would need Perenculate for that. So 8. 9, that's kind of weak. A strong scale memory would be Old Moment. That's scale 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So somewhere that we can put a liquid and scale. Liquid and scale in the forge. We can, but I don't think any of those have 2 scale on them. Unless... metal? It doesn't accept a tool, no. Living relic, but you... can't help us in the forge. That'll be difficult, and not doable for now, though if we upgrade Serpents and Venoms once more, we can work it in the forge at 15th level. So we'll hold off for now. What we were going to do is we were going to check out this 15th level Driftweft heart recipe with weaving and artworking. To do so we will need a Thunderskins paean, probably the easiest. So it'll be that plus that, and a sort of regular old hard memory. I think we will. First of all, we can just use our plus health instead of our plus chore, which we need the plus chore for the 15th level recipe. Yeah. Let's just go for what does not bark. Do we want to learn any lessons? We take a long time thinking over our options for skills and lessons, again, but we're probably going to change our mind for the most of them, again, so I'll let you know if any of that bears relevance when it comes up. Though having said that, we do decide to commit lessons of lockworks and clockworks to its own skill, as it'll make it a bit easier to create those Cronus chords, which are going to be a very great boon to us going forwards, opening up rooms. A passing by poet. Winter, moth, and sky. There is a moth 15 we need, a winter 15 we need, no sky. So one of those two rooms. What should we commit them to? Real quick. Moth 15 here. Silent Hall or Winter 15 would be here. A crypt or a Silent Hall. The hearth is cold, the floor thick with dust, the walls streaked with nitre. Old invocations forbiddings squeak and whisper like rats. I don't know what's in here. There's a table of some sort, but that doesn't give us much of a hint. There is a grave in here, and I know that our pump is angled down, so I'd like to unlock this room, so we can aim for that. In terms of what can we give this man, we have our classic Solomon's Prep 4. He has base 4, so that is 8. We have plus Whist, which will put him on 11. We need him on 15. 12, 13 from a memory. Unless we have something stronger. Nope, we don't have any stronger memories. So we need winter. What can we give him that's winter? We've already given him a beverage. No tool though. And our Chronoscord thing has winter, so there we go. A good example of why we want that. Why we want easy access to Chronoscords. You would like a bit of that. Just a bit. He has been hired. We will commit him to talking about... First of all, here's some sleeping medicine. I'm sure it'll go down well. We also need a Sky Winter to operations of a certain F. There we go. Let's rapid fire off a few things here. Metal into in for cash. Talk to the poet about plus whist. Commit to the Lockworks and Clockworks lesson. Stare at the Newman in rumination. Give the poet a chronoscord for the 3 winter it provides. Collect a 6pence and memory of hindsight, in the process committing our metal for another 6pence. Exploring on the beach and plundering gull rocks. Pick some flowers. Commit to making the Thunderskins PN. Use the hail of today and the perinculate we made to read the Book of Thrones. Talk to the poet about hindsight, making a terrible joke in the process. Hindsight probably shouldn't have drunk a sleeping potion. And put in the poet to work in clearing out the basement. Now here we decide to consider one of the weird boxes we found in the vault. Curiosity wins out of my desire to hoard them at this time. But to compensate my feelings of greed, we dip into the inn a 3rd time today to arrest the hemorrhaging of our coin purse. With our Thunderskins Peon finished, we've all the pieces we need. Combining it with 2 thriftware, we discover a Swaddled Thunder, which we will soon be able to look upon. Now here I do get a bit distracted, wondering if there's something to be done with the chimeric lava, working off half memories of its ability to be changed. At the time I'd forgotten why I thought that, but with the benefit of a few more hours of gameplay, I can say that it's due to an extract of the Kukabit prison records, which describes a potential recipe involving the lava. Once more we ruminate on the Newman. We wonder if we could try the drums and dances Nectar 10 recipe with it. Not quite, not today. What the fuck? What sovereign wonder? Didumos? No star is permitted upon Earth, but we may cozen them to dream of us, and the dream of a star may take a kind of form which we call Didumos? Didumos. Thomas DeWolf. Is this another fucking Newman? No. But it's something. It's a memory and it's persistent. We got that from the what sovereign wonder? Shit. That's a memory and it's gonna be taken by Numa. What do we do with that? Evolve our hushery and horror history. We don't care about those. Be honest. Shit. What do we do with that? Sky 6. Can we just put that in our book? Keep it safe. Put it in there. That's fast. What's our strong sky? Oratory in it. If I could lay my hands on a suitable ink, well, we only really have... Result is 7, so that we can get 20. Hmm. Hmm. Would we be overly hasty with that, I wonder? Oh, no, not Eagle ink. We want Azot. The thirtage kind of the Carapace cross dreamed themselves out of black glass to be their own monarch. If we inherit the empty throne, we dream ourselves into every night to come. Add sky and forge to your journal replaces any other original determination. Adding determinations to your journal makes it first possible, then easier to write a matching history. Add sky and forge to your journal. Yeah. So what do we want to do here? Because I'm curious to see what this does. This isn't like end the game sort of thing, and I believe they put something into play where you can do multiple endings. I don't fully remember. We do have the ability to save and reload. That is a thing. From what I'm reading of this and what I understand, add sky and forge to your journal replaces any other origin determination. I think by default we don't have an origin determination. But, or wait, maybe we do. Maybe it does change the that you might wish to begin your studies with the Ithistry wisdom. It gives us sky. I get the feeling this is a suitable course of action from us. Make a determination from nowhere origin. We are attempting to write ourselves into not being from nowhere, which would free us from the curse of the Cram of the Sky. So our parents want to eat us because we are their child. But if we say that we're not their child because we rewrite our own history, then we're good, right? That's how it works, surely. Didumos, I don't know. This seems... I don't know how to make another one of those. So this would be our only source of that memory as far as I'm aware. However, it's going to go away if we don't use it. It gets taken from us by Numa. So not that we know where or when, but I figure let's save first. Let's first save. Didumos. Save. And then we can into here, throw that. Throw that. That, and Oronoscopy. Let's do this. Oh, and I believe we opened that room with the poets. Hang on. Hey look, sixpence. Okay, so things to do. Okay, so first of all, let's work in order. We have a Columbic crypt. What is the main feature here? We have some coral, quite a lot of coral, and a what's the word? Coffin. I was trying to think of the stone version, but coffin. With birds underneath it, doves, if I'm not mistaken, and it's white. One of the origin places, or one of the things that would watch over this place, if I'm not mistaken. Columbic Crypt. Saint Columba, with 12 companions, brought the word of the unconquered sun to Scotland, where he found a monastery on the blessed Isle of Iona. There he died, and there his bones remain until the Northmen came. But in Cornwall they speak of his 13th companion, a hybrid beauty called Rowena, who was perhaps his tutor, perhaps his seducer, or perhaps his daughter. At his death the monks sought to stone her for her impurities. She bore Columba's bones away so the monks would not have them. Substituting out of tact or mischief the bones of a horse, she brought the bones to a hidden isle, where she made a double foundation of nuns and monks, and became its first abbess. But she would admit none to her order who was a virgin. Sure, she would allow none into her order who was a virgin, nor innocent of any crime. Since then, the isle has been a refuge for all the world might consider impure. Okay. So this ties into the story we heard over here, right? Ronarium. Once there was a brother and sister who blah blah blah. They found a hidden isle where the twins taught them how they could become one flesh and blood by flesh and body and become immortal. The brother refused, and they couldn't do anything about it. Eventually, sister found her own immortality, and to this day she walks the world by moonlight. The brother died, and his bones are buried in the room beneath the well, but his children live on. So is this the room beneath the well? I thought this might be them, but perhaps that's just someone else's bones. Here, they talk about possibly the same, a hybrid beauty called Rowena. Rowanarium. Sure. I think the two are related. I mean, as in that is the same duo. So here it mentions, maybe his tutor or his seducer or his daughter. No, sister, according to the other room. Hey look, Columbic sarcophagus. Sarcophagus, the eater of flesh. No bones remain, but the marble is chilly with power. Okay. Evolve via hushery. Not too much here. Winter and moth. We still only have one tryst, so couldn't evolve that even if we wanted to. And we've read this book here. The Book of Thrones. A legend of the Shadowless Empire, transcribed by Alexander Peterhan from annals at a secret shrine in Anatolia. In the first and greatest history, a subject of the Shadowless Empire of Persia travels to the west, to the kingdom of the Persiads. There he becomes a protege of the tutelary Persid deity, the Scarred Man who lives in the dark. He returns after 7 years to put his skills at the service of the Shadowless Empire, becoming their golden general. After many years of peace, the heirs of the Persiads move against the King of Kings and the Shadowless Empire. The golden general will not take arms against the blood of his mentor until the King of Kings whispers a great secret of betrayal in his ear. He breaks his sword, forswears his oath to both the Empire and the Scarred Man, and enters the temple behind the world, leaving his life behind. So who's that talking about? The Golden General? Yeah. Golden General, the Lionsmith. I remember he breaks his sword, and the Scarred Man is the Colonel. Okay. I vaguely remember from the I forget it, the Exile DLC. You would find statues of either the Scarred Man or the General, um, either the Colonel or the Lionsmith in certain forms. You had to find them around. I didn't look too hard into that. I accidentally stumbled into aligning myself with the Lionsmith in the end. I think that was one of the 2 times I really played that DLC. Didn't play it that one too much, I'll be honest. But the Book of Thrones gives us lessons of rural contemplations. We've already committed that. Nope, we didn't want to do that. And Memory of Contradiction. We've seen before, but it's good to see again. Cool. Collect that. And what are we doing? We were having a look at this, weren't we? Let's put some of this to work real quick. We have an amethyst ampule chilling up here. Loud noise. Put that in there with that. We are 1 short, damn it. Nope, and nope. We want to throw something in here with 1 knock, don't we? It's cheap. That's not cheap, I should think. Oh, we can throw a Hawthorn blank in there, can't we? Wood, fuel, material. Yeah. At some point we will get more wood. And with our last plus Arab of the day, we make some Ruby Wise Ruin just to, use it, I suppose. Cool. Make a determination from nowhere origin. I am the librarian of Hush House, and I have made my determination. If you're considering a sky history, speech the key is relevant, or if you're considering a forge history, first flower red is relevant. Okay. I'll make a copy of that.